there's something that just came up, which I just remember what happened. To recap the doctor's visit on August 23rd, 2003, out of all the handwritten notes that the doctors have had for my son for his whole, all those records have a record of the appointments. This is back when handwritten notes were the way doctors kept their information. It was before the digital age. So everything was handwritten. So something out of this doctor's note didn't make sense. The day of the TBI, um, I believe that uh, she was told not to bring the child in to see the doctor. I believe that the person who answered the phone, who took the receptionist, took the phone call and said, go to your ER right away." I believe that happened. I believe my son was bullied into going this route as opposed to calling 911. Because then they proceeded to give her a time to come in with him, which case I believe she had enough time to have called 911, but then also um, the fact that uh, she had plenty of time in which he needed that time. That time was his time. That time was him on the clock for his condition. This was a lot of medical information would need to be pulled from him at that time. That was stopped, prohibited because of her hiding the crime. My point about the notes is that was the only note that ever had anything out of all of them, and I have them all. That was the only one that there was a recap of the doctor's visit. So, so you the doctor recaps what this whole thing was about. She recaps not his medical condition, but the what caused it. So she at no time during her secondary notes, not her first notes, she doesn't go into deeply into. She takes the basics from him, but there was other medical needs that he needed that she knew about that that like I said, she Goliath bullied her way into the office. So she recaps this. I believe that she called CPS. I believe that day, August. I don't know the date of the employment when Goliath's employment started with the county. I don't have a date for that. So let's just put it to you this way: if she started in, let's just say, May of that year, and then she gets a phone call, the county gets a phone call about the doctor reporting this incident. So the first thing that the county did was wiped it under the table. So what they did was, I believe the doctor, because she's a must report, reported the incident. Just like my phone call in 2007 never got addressed, this one from Jump. So here's what I think, based on watching TV and movies and things like that, that this was called in a favor. She got a favor from the county from Jump. So let's just put it this way: she's a court reporter who may need in the future some help changing some language that in a future case may be needed by the county or by a judge or by the DA to change certain wordings around in the case of a case. So I believe that 4 or 5 months into her employment, they call in a favor. We're going to put this under the rug. We're going to say this never happened. We're going to cover you. And this day that I need your help, you're going to be there for me. So that's what happened. She got in owing them before she started, before she really started. So that's the only thing that makes sense. Why the doctor reported it never, I'm saying this because recently I have on the record that a detective from Bucks County said to me, and I have him on the record saying that the doctor didn't report it. They're a must report. And I said they did. They sure as hell did. So I believe the doctor, but I don't understand the premise of trying to go in under the wire and then having to owe people favors. I guess that's the way the government is being done in Bucks County, and I don't agree with that. I think that there's a lot of people in Bucks County, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area who come under the guides of the Commonwealth protection. I believe that there's probably some good parents out there who that the mistakes happen and they get their kids taken away. I don't understand why this one gets a free pass from that. I think that if we call awareness to the fact that so many years they have blatantly not protected my son and protected the court reporter over favors for potential lawsuits or judgments or whatnot that requires her to change some things. It's the only thing that kind of makes sense as to why nothing ever got done. I mean, why not protect the child first? Why not protect him? Why not set another set of eyes? Why not get another county involved to investigate what the doctor said to keep Bucks out? But they wanted to be into it. So that's where I'm at. So these favorite things that happened continued to happen. So it's a back and forth thing. So they really got into bed. They had something over her head. They held it against her. They knew that they could have done something with it, and they chose not to, so they can earn favors in other ways. So this was some more clarification for the prelude of the reason why I started writing in 2007. So from here on out, I think it's best to understand that the county of Bucks purposefully neglected my son, as long with the mom, to do other people's favors, and that's how I'm now today talking about what happened in 2007 because of more neglect. So the doctors the doctor's call got ignored. My call in 2007 got ignored. There was a reason in 2010 for a doctor to call. I have that in writing, and a few other, and probably some school things too. But here's the thing, that the no response is a response. Verbal communication is just as important as nonverbal, or nonverbal is just as important as verbal communication. So here I am saying that the flags were raised and they did nothing about it. And the fact that they've consistently done that for 25 years is an answer. And it is something that they did, and they're choosing not to prosecute or to go forward because they have favoritism that they need to do, which is more misconduct that I've been calling about, the FBI and the CIA, that the conflict of interest and things like that, that I've been raising the flag saying, there's a problem here, there's a problem here, there's a problem here. Nobody wants to hear it. That's an answer too. That because they all know that something's going on, and they don't want to get involved, and it doesn't get better for my son. And that's all I want. So I had to add that to the whole situation. And that was never thought about before. I never thought that they would actually issue favors for that. But it's the only thing that makes sense about why all the years that my son never got the help that he needed because of them covering for her. Which should be against the law. That's their job.